Hello, everyone. Welcome again to today's webinar. We will talk about the challenges of contactless access control. To give a little bit more time to other people to register and to join us, I'll briefly introduce the topic, our speakers for today, and the tool that we're using so you can actually actively participate on the event. So let's begin. The recent boom in face recognition is offering novel ways to change interactions, wherein its numerous benefits can be implemented not only in smart buildings. Several Asian countries have already been using it due to its contactless nature. As many of the solutions are still hybrid, they require user interactions with a terminal-based control. While challenging, current situation also brings opportunities for companies and governments to bring more comfort and security to their customers and citizens. My name is Teresa, and I'd like to welcome you again. I'm going to be moderating the session. This webinar will be divided into two parts. The first part is the presentation that will take approximately 25 minutes, and the Q&A session that will be open for around 15 minutes. As usual, you're more than welcome to take an active part in this webinar by asking questions anytime. We will collect all questions during the webinar and address them immediately in the Ask a Question tab. More complex questions will be answered during the Q&A session at the end by our speakers. You can also pose a question via email writing us at webinar@innovatrics.com. During the webinar, as well as during the Q&A session, you can upvote each question and the system will move them on the top so you can ensure that your question will be answered. We will try to answer all the questions during the Q&A session. In case you feel you need to discuss some of the topics addressed today in more detail, please see Call to Action tab that will appear on the bottom part of the screen. You can as well write us at sales@innovatrics.com or contact directly your sales representative at Innovatrics. Before I introduce speakers, I'd like to ask you to join the poll on the bottom of the screen to help us understand our audience today. And finally, I'm happy to introduce our presenters for today. The first one is Robert Izak, Channel Manager from Innovatrics, who's in charge of business development of face recognition solutions, particularly the Channels Partner Program. And his presentation will be today joined as well by our Product Manager, Michal Vilagi, who's in charge of Innovatrics face recognition solutions integrations. That's it from my side. Thank you very much and enjoy the webinar. I'm going to pass the word to Robert. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing good.
Ready?
Good
Okay,
morning to our American partners, South and North America. Good afternoon to our partners from African and European region. And also good very late evening to our Asian partners. I know a few of you have joined this webinar, so I'm happy that you joined.
Yeah, it's great to see here our regulars, right? It feels like we are rock stars. All right, let's begin. Good luck.
Thank you, Teresa, for a very nice introduction. Next 20 minutes, we will talk about main types of face recognition, access control solutions, and we will be focusing especially on challenges that deployment of such solutions can bring to you. We will talk about performance, that means speed and accuracy. We will talk about integration with the third-party systems, access decision logic, enrollment of the users and enrollment applications, not only users, but also persons from outside of the organization. Of course, about some management console, because we need to have a control over the system. And a very hot topic of nowadays, the liveness check. I'm running within the Innovatrics Partners Program. So if you don't want to learn these challenges hard way, feel free, and you are very welcome to join our program, where we will help you to mitigate the risk when deploying the face recognition solution. As well, we will help you to solve various challenging use cases and scenarios. Innovatrics is an independent biometric partner. We are on the market more than 15 years. We have our own algorithm, proprietary algorithms supporting 3 modalities: fingerprints, face, and irises. And we are building our own SDKs on top of those algorithms. That means we can also influence a lot or significantly what platform, what sort of hardware or combination hardware and operating system can we support. Last 15 years, we have deployed more than 500 projects over 80 countries and processed more than 1 billion enrollees into the biometric systems. Before I go any further, maybe let me share with you the research that has been done recently. And it was all about what sort of security credential does your organization use in your building. And it's no surprise that approximately 60% is currently using the smart card, access card, RFID card. I believe it's very similar within your organization or within your customers. On the other side, there is another question, not what type of security component are you using, but what don't you like on your component. And again, almost 50% of the people respond very simply that they have to carry something, they have to carry more than one thing. Usually it's not integrated, or they have to carry more things to get into different areas of the building. And it's not really pleasant from the user experience point of view, and definitely not from the security point of view. There is very simple response. There are things you definitely cannot lose, you cannot forget at home when you go work, and that's the biometrics. So please welcome on the next slides. We will discuss the challenges of deployment typical face recognition systems. From interaction point of view, we distinguish 2 main types of face recognitions based access control solutions. It can be either terminal-based, where the user has to clearly interact. Usually, user have to come closer, maybe to the 1 meter or less distance. Usually has to place his face into the placeholder. Very often, it's combined with the different modalities like fingerprints, RFID cards. On the other side, the seamless approach can bring a lot of user experience and much enhanced security. And user doesn't even know very often that he is interacting with some sort of security system. Everything behaves completely seamlessly, and the user experience is very, very high. Let's talk a little bit more about the terminal-based solutions. We all know these types of solutions requires user interaction, as I mentioned. That means user have to really come closer than 1 meter, place the face to the placeholder, wait till the image is taken, sent for matching or for verification 1-to-1. So all of those actions define the longer process, which takes usually 3 to 5 seconds, depends on the setup, depends on the traffic. So these characteristics define also the usage of such devices, and they are suitable more or less for a lower traffic, usually for the interiors. These devices contains or are built on top of typical Android platforms or embedded platforms and operating systems, and they have limited hardware resources. So they are capable to process just few frames per second. So you cannot expect fully seamless approach from such devices. On the other side, it has a lot of advantages because you can combine more modalities easily within one device. For example, fingerprint scanner, RFID card scanner, PIN code, keyboard. And also, very often those devices are connected with the time and attendance solutions. When we talk about a seamless approach, the user definitely doesn't have to interact with the system. User just walks, approaches the building, approaches the area which he has to enter, and access is simply granted. His face is seamlessly scanned. User doesn't even know very often where the camera is. It can be hidden, it can be placed on any position, not like the terminal. And it can support definitely more use cases. You can position camera on a parking lot. You can put the camera to the canteen. You can place the cameras to the lift. You can place the camera anywhere. And this is big advantage if you compare with the typical terminal or tablet-based solutions. Support of more use cases, definitely supporting more security and monitoring. You can connect more watch lists and provide much more secure information. Definitely, we have much more options as well for running liveness check to make sure if the area is not supervised by any human person, that only live people, without trying to without spoofing or without faking their identity, can get into the area. When we talk about the access control, it doesn't really mean just the building or just the office building, which is typical correlation when we say access control. This seamless approach is suitable for big events, stadiums, music concerts, music festivals, where can be, without any issue, 50,000 people. You need to process real-time face detection, multiple faces detection. You need to match people against watch list, employees list, visitors list, guest list, maybe blacklists or frauds list, and definitely gives you much faster processing. Another typical use case can be university campus, where again, you cannot expect if you place some terminal-based solutions or tablets, and if the 1,000 people come to the work or to the school, that you will process them without issues. And again, you can connect or you can integrate such use case also with the attendance report to see who was and who was not in the school, on a lecture, or on the exam. You can also make sure that only the right person goes to the exam. We are also having requests from our partners like this. Factories is another nice use case. Very often, for example, PM shift starts at 5 p.m. Nobody is coming at work at 4. Usually, if 1,000 people have to come to the work, usually they come in 10 minutes before 5. And it's really challenging to process 1,000 people at the entrance with the typical solutions if they're using just RFID cards, turnstiles, or similar systems for access control. You can as well integrate this face recognition system with the attendance and time and attendance report. Another nice use case is hospitality and hotel management. Nowadays, you can book your holidays online, do the check-in online. You can enroll, prove your identity online. We have solutions as well for this. Our colleagues has presented on previous webinars. Once you enter the hotel lobby, your face is recognized. You can be greeted by your name. You can just pick up a keys from the room, or you don't even need no keys. And definitely, if you need to deploy 500 cameras around the hotel rooms, it's better for your costs than if you should deploy 500 terminals or tablets around the walls. So again, the user experience in combination with the security is very positive. And very typical use cases are smart buildings. We will be focusing today a lot on smart buildings, on how to solve those challenges. Actually, we will be discussing on a particular use case of the smart building. We are working together with our partners. And we'll be showcasing how the seamless access can really look like. What does it mean real-time identification as I'm approaching the speed gate? Definitely, the big challenge is always the access control system, existing access control system integration, as you cannot expect that everything is just provided according to your expectations. Very often, you just need to connect to the existing systems, as well, for example, for video management systems, which is suitable for security and surveillance. And to be just more particular, the case study we will walk through would be a smart building concept we are working on right now, deploying. This building contains more than 6,000 employees, 3 speed gates groups, 50 cameras inside the offices. The cameras are serving for opening the doors. We're also providing the self-enrollment station. That means user just can enroll through the tablet or through his smartphone into the face recognition. We also done the integration with existing access control system. That means that's a master access control system that define roles and define also privileges where the user can go. That means we just synchronize. We don't have to build another database of logic. We simply copy what's in the master. If, for example, employee ends at the company or is fired, he's removed from the master access control system, automatically we synchronize with the face recognition system, so cannot happen that such user can enter the area again. And of course, the biggest challenge was the GDPR, which is a big thing nowadays in Europe, and also integration with the existing consent management system, because user has to always clearly agree that his face would be used as a token to provide a security access. This case study is built for our customer, for our partner, HB Reavis. It's one of the biggest European property management developers, managing tens of buildings around the world. And let me maybe share with you what does it really mean in reality, seamless access approach. I have prepared short videos for you where I will be showcasing our colleague Mate. This is our building. How is he is entering the building? First, he is not on the watch list, and he is trying to get to the building. There are cameras placed on the right side, as you can see here. Mate is not on the watch list, on the employee watch list, so he cannot access the building. We enroll him with our enrollment solution. That means his face becomes part of the watch list. His identity is in the watch list. And now if the user wants to get, if the Mate wants to get to through the speed gates, his face will be seemingly recognized, and he can just get through without any hassle, without stopping. Camera has detected his face maybe in the 3 meters distance. This is definitely configurable. Doors just open, you can just go. And for example, if you're coming back, you can see the cameras are placed right here on the right side. Seamless access doesn't have to be just a smart building. We have another use case with our partner in Saudi Arabia, where the access control is managed, that the people arriving to the campus, to the university campus, they sit in the car. They don't want them to get off the car. They're usually holding just their IDs. IP cameras are scanning the scene, detecting faces, and match against the watch list of 40,000 people. And let me maybe share with you, this is maybe just a short video, and sorry for the lower quality. I was making this video with my smartphone. On a tablet, the application is running. We are processing the camera streams. On the top bar, you see detected faces. On the right side, you see matches. I'm staying right here. We were actually defining the right parameters that the algorithms will not detect me too far. We just want the algorithm to detect persons from the right distance. We did it in the midnight. And actually, this is a very nice example of very challenging conditions. And we can very easily fulfill such use case. So if you see, my face is here detected, match with a high accuracy immediately. I'm not even sitting in the car. I'm staying behind the car. This camera sees my face from the long distance. As you can see, another user came next to me. His face immediately detected and matched with the watch list as well. And especially, I like this part. If the user appears just here, just a little part of his face, he is matched again with a very high accuracy. Let me just repeat. We had almost 40,000 people in the watch list. Nowadays, as the university is locked due to coronavirus, but there are still some workers that coming into the area. So you can imagine, as I mentioned, the factory use case. You see the cameras are here, and they need to process thousands of people each morning and each evening as they coming to work. So you can imagine here, as people are processed quickly. Yeah, if people just simply walks, you will never. Officers inside the security station, they have just a monitor and they see the list of the users as they coming, their names, and if the user does not belong to the organization, they are immediately notified, also to their smartphones or to their tablets. Yep. So this was an example of what does it really mean, a seamless access approach. Of course, you need to define the use case, and you need to define the right equipment and the right hardware. In our partner program, we can definitely help you out with this. We can help you out with the biometrics. We have dedicated biometrics trainings. We have dedicated solution trainings. As well, we have integration support we can provide to our partners in case of need. And now let's talk a little bit in greater detail about the particular challenges of access control when deploying in such a challenging environment. Number one challenge is always, you may know from your projects when you go and develop, is that you have to integrate with existing infrastructure. Very typically, you have in the building, you have existing access control, you have existing lift management, you have existing video management system, and you need to provide an interface that simply easily connects, integrate. You don't want to create new databases.
Regularly, all those systems, I mean, third-party system has different interfaces. So we need to be sure that our system is compatible with them, or we can build some kind of connector and synchronize all the data during the process.
Here is a very simple, our core application for access control infrastructure. Main input is the camera. It can be IP camera, USB camera, or it can be sometimes an offline video file if you need to process exposed. We process the frames, frame by frame of the video streams, real time, online real time, and we are providing notifications via 0MQ notifications each time face is detected, face template is extracted, or face template is matched against the watch list. Through these 0MQ messages integrations, you can provide easily integration, or we can provide integration with third parties like video management system, security monitoring system, and so on. And via REST API, you can interact, or our application interacts with outside world. This is definitely big advantage. REST API, it's a protocol that supports any programming language. So with us, you don't become tied to particular, I would say, hardware technology or particular programming environment. We are really agnostic, and we can support any type of camera, any type of environment, or any type of programming language that you like to play with. And when we talk maybe about integration into existing systems, Michal can share a few experiences of his, especially what was really challenging with this HB Reavis project.
Yeah, exactly. For this HB Reavis project, it was really nice that the client has, from the early beginning, clear thoughts how they want to system to be used. They from the early beginning, they wanted to use it as a seamless access control. So all the people coming into the building, they will enter without any disruptions. So that was first part of the system when we were integrating access control for the speed gates. In the second stage, because the client was really happy with the solution, at the second stage they applied also for the access control at the doors, where the approach was a little bit different, but it was also seamless access to the spaces. So the person do not need to come to the terminal. He just pass the passage to the door, and the door is automatically opened. What was really challenging in this project was integration with really complex access control, external access control system, where really real-time synchronization of users need to be done, and also client has clear view about the GDPR compliancy. That means that from access enabling or faces detection process, we shouldn't store any data during the process of entering. we fulfill this really easy because we don't need to store anything during the entry. We just compare the face in front of the speed gate, and we are evaluating it and sending the messages if the person can enter or not, depending on availability, his identity in the watch list. That was first part of GDPR compliancy, and the second part was that during the registration, when they are putting their, let's say, face into the system, they need to give us their consent for the biometrical identity. We can use it during the system running. So the client had a special consent management system, and that was the second part where we should be always connected to synchronize all this consent all the time during the registration. One interesting thing was that communication with entry points, I mean speed gates and doors, was different. For the speed gates, there was hardware connection made to the turnstile, where we were sending special vegan messages for opening the turnstiles. So that was, let's say, some kind of challenge for us to deliver this kind of converters. And for the doors, that was much easier approach, where we could use web interface for the controlling of door opening. So it was a combination of different approaches in one project. That was quite interesting.
Yeah, especially GDPR is nowadays a big thing. Very often we see that our partners or end customers do not really understand. They see it as something, oh my God, we rather won't do it because we might have issues. GDPR just defines what you have to do if you process personal or sensitive users' data, and user has to give you clear consent. He has to agree that you can use his data. And biometric identity and face template we extract from the face image is a sensitive personal information. Even there's a discussion about this, but definitely once the user agrees and the user have an option to deduct his consent or take back his consent, definitely you are okay, and you are playing according the rules. Thank you, Michal, for your comments. Another challenge is definitely the performance. It's not easy to measure performance, especially in biometrics, but there is one very relevant benchmark called face recognition vendor test. This benchmark is being run by NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, which is a US national agency providing data sets and providing also various benchmarks. With this face recognition vendor test one-to-one, that means you are comparing one-to-one images, that's verification. There are 6 different data sets, 6 different benchmarks. One of those is wild images or wild faces data sets. I would say this is the most difficult one because the images are really from the common world, from IP cameras, from smartphones. They are blurry, they're in motion. So this benchmark really defines the performance of users for such scenarios as access control, security, surveillance. It was last year benchmark, last year submission of ours. We have won this category, and even it's an ongoing benchmark, we still keep in the top position, top 5, depends on the submission, depends. Another part of face recognition vendor test is not one-to-one, but it defines a use case called search or identification, where simply you have either fingerprint or face. In this is of course face recognition, so you have face and you search across the database. And there was a data set of 12 million faces, and it took Innovatrics just 13 milliseconds to search across 12 million faces data sets. So this is really stunning performance, and we are very proud on that. And now let me switch a little bit. I will leave this room for a while, and I will show you what does it mean to have such a robust algorithm in reality. Let me walk outside of my quiet room, and let me share my screen again. Now I will be streaming. This is our office. Let me just set it up. On top bar, you see every face that has been detected. On the right bar, you see if there is a match against the Innovatrics watch list. Not all of our colleagues are in the Innovatrics watch list. So let me just walk outside. You will see me in these doors. Hello. Even right now, I'm staying like 7 meters from the camera. You see my face has been immediately detected, even here, just to show you what sort of images we work with when we do the identification. We also provide information about the time, camera ID. We estimate age and gender. So such information can be also used for the retail analytic purposes. So even if I will get loose from the stream like this and will appear again, for example, with the sunglasses, like this, you see my face has been immediately detected and again matched without any issues with a really high score. Nowadays, a lot of people have to use all around the world the face masks. And the face masks, again, that's not an issue for us. Let me show you. I will put my face mask on. And let me just appear against in front of the camera. And you see again, very strong match. This is not the percentage. This is the biometric score that represents the accuracy. Even if I hide again, reappear again, no issue, see immediate match. Even now my face is being tracked. And let me also emphasize, this is not really the ideal position of the camera. This is typical surveillance camera. I would not recommend it for high accuracy access control, but I like it for demonstrating the robustness of our algorithm. We have strong light from the side. The camera is mounted on a ceiling, and definitely these are very typical conditions you face during the access control or during the deployments in existing infrastructures. We improved the accuracy of the system not only by implementing the best or integrating the best algorithm. We have also now developed and released just a few weeks ago so-called watchlist auto-learn. That means algorithm is collecting faces that appear on daily basis, and if the face is very different and still there is a match, we add this face to the watch list. You can see this is my colleagues. He has just one regular face here, and all other faces are watchlist auto-learns from the previous weeks. You can see he even has been matched with the face masks automatically, and this really improves the accuracy of the system in reality. So again, this is different view. Even if I get lost from the stream, and even if I will come just from a side, this is what we call seamless access control. You see my face has been even from the side, from the angle, no issues to have a very high accuracy detection. And now let me go back to my office to carry on with the presentation. Yeah, so this is what does it mean? What does it mean seamless access control? And you definitely cannot expect such performance, for example, if you are using some Android tablet. You have to use an IP camera, nothing special, no fancy camera, just regular camera that can cost you from $100 to $200. You have much wider options to tune the environment with the IP camera than with the tablet, because very often you will face a strong background light, strong, I would say, light from the side. And with this seamless approach, you have much more options how you can figure out your scenario. Then very, very important challenge you will face is access logic. Because as the access control is seamless, that means more users can walk and can enter the area. And it's very important to detect all of those faces to make sure to know the order, who is the first, who is the second, who is the third, and to make sure that you will open the doors just to the right person. So let's imagine a scenario that the first person is on the watch list, second person is not, and third is on the watch list. All of these three people are approaching the speed gate, and for example, person number one just picks up the phone, turns around and walks away. And we make sure that the doors will not open to the second user that is not on the watch list. So this is another very important thing, is tailgating elimination. You cannot really protect tailgating if you are using in your organizations just some sort of security card, because I can give a card to my colleague, I can share it with anybody, we can tailgate anybody. This is not possible if you have a camera on the right position. Definitely, you can integrate also watch lists. Example, we are just facing, Michal can maybe help me with this project for HB Reavis. There was also strong requirements. Once we remove somebody from the access control system, master access control system, for example, person can be fired. We have to make sure that such person will not enter the building immediately. This was a big challenge, and again, we achieved this with the open infrastructure of our technology, with easy integration, and with blazing fast synchronization.
Yeah, I just want to add to this decision model, what you were talking about. That's really important to say that this access logic is really depend on the use case, what we want to cover. For different use cases, this approach or approaching the entry point can be different. And we have a special module developed for that, where different strategies are implemented. And depending on the use case, we can configure different approaches during the setup of the installation.
Definitely.
And also, if there are special requirements for some special use cases, we can also somehow modify those criteria and how the system is working. So that's really powerful part of the system, let's say.
Yeah, I have to really agree. Then we also face another challenge. We are deploying a face recognition-based access control solution. It's pretty much easy to get people or employees that are in the existing access control system to the watch list. So we make sure the camera opens the door or the speed gate or access is granted. But you will face a lot of situations that, for example, we have visitors, we have, for example, people coming for interview, you have contractors, we have delivery guys, different people can come to your organization or to the company for whatever reason. And you should provide them also easy way to enroll to the system. Right now, let me showcase the enrollment solution we have done for our partner, which is primarily built for the employees, which want to use the face recognition, and also for the outside people coming from outside. So I will be sharing now my smartphone screen, and just quickly we'll show you how quick the process can be of enrolling such a user, just providing the face. I am using a pretty old smartphone. This is a smartphone from 2014, but I like to definitely show it for such use cases because it's nice proof that our technology supports almost whatever device nowadays on the market. So the first step, I just choose the registration. I will enroll my face. We are embedding the framework here that we navigate user, what he's supposed to do. So we make sure that just a good selfie is taken with a good light, with a centered face. That's pretty fast. Image is taken. We can combine again with the liveness check. Here, for this project, it was not needed because actually the smartphone on the tablet will be at the lobby, at the reception, where is the employee of the building. So there's no way the user can spoof it. But I will show you that we have also, if you use it, let's say for delivery people or contractors, we can also make sure that only live person is enrolling. I will just confirm. I can type my name pretty quickly, no issue. Yep, just like this. Yep, well, let's say some ID, no optional. I agree, I just can review. This is really important, this is the GDPR consent. So I fully agree here that I allow system to store my face and use it as a security token. So my face has been registered. I will just confirm. And now let me just show you the different demo we have here. And if you see here, I just registered here with this ID. I fell into the watch list. So once I appear on one of those streams, my identity will be recognized. Doors can open. So actually here you can see the view of the cameras we have at the reception. So no worry, we didn't make it as a movie. It really works like this. And as you can see, again, very challenging situation. We are facing the direct sun. And this is something that is, again, not possible to fulfill with a typical tablet-based solution. Yeah, so this was the demo for the enrollment. And again, you can combine various scenarios. You can combine the smartphones for people from outside, for internal employees, and also for many other visitors that can come into your organization. We also see very often the request, it again depends from case to case. Some users want to have also overview what's going on. That means you want to make sure that just enrolled people that belongs to the organization, people with the granted access can enter the area. And we can also integrate with the security system and generate a notification if, for example, employee that has been fired, or for example, contractor that does not belong for the company anymore. As well, you can connect the system and do the real search of and provide notification if some blacklisted person or some wanted person appears in the screen. We have done also integration with the video management system. So again, you can have a two-in-one. So you can have solution for granting the access, as well as a very powerful solution to provide security for your security guys. Again, integrations with the smartwatch, smartphones, tablets, walkie-talkie, whatever is possible. It's just a matter of days with our technology. One of the last challenges is definitely the ecosystem. Even when we deployed, these are our core solutions, Smart Face for processing the IP cameras, digital onboarding toolkit for processing biometrics on the smartphone, where the use case is usually selfie login or digital enrollment. But you never know where your project will grow or how will your project grow. And therefore, you should always think about a partner that can provide not only solution for your particular issue, but that can help you with the whole biometric ecosystem. So you can imagine, as I mentioned at the beginning, you can, for example, hotel environment, you can buy a vacation online, do the enrollment, do the check-in. You just enter the building. You just pick up your keys, or you don't need the keys at all. And in the background, you can be verified, and company and hotel can trust that it's really you. And of course, this is the last topic I would like to discuss today, and it's a liveness check. We all know that this is really one of the most critical issue nowadays, to make sure that only live person and holder of the identity is getting to the area. So we make sure that somebody is not spoofing with the video, printed image, or simply some fake masks. So people are very creative. And again, let me share my screen and let me share with you the The application our R&D has developed just recently, and we are showcasing here the spoofing attacks and how we can work with that. So here right now I'm streaming my camera. We are streaming just one camera, and right now I'm the live person. So if I will try to spoof it, for example, the printed image like this, then definitely you see the score is negative. Yeah, for example, printed image like this. Or if I want to use, for example, my selfie from my smartphone. Yeah, just a second. I will just use it like this again. Yeah, this is negative. So this is also very important. The quality is a bit lower. Now the liveness check runs on my laptop. So if you will be using server, definitely you can process more than 5 frames than I can right now. And this is the last piece to the puzzle to deliver high quality face recognition solutions built for access control. That was all from my side. Thank you very much for your attention. And now let's go to the questions, Teresa.
Thank you very much again. We have quite a lot of questions here. Let me invite up also Michal, so you can share the questions. Okay, well, once I went through the questions, I've seen that some of them you already mentioned, but we have here people that joined later or maybe didn't notice that. So let's answer them again. And let me start with the question with the most votes, and that is, what is the maximum distance the camera can scan, and does it rotate if it was synced with a sensor system or no? So I would say this question could be for Michal, and let's begin.
Or I can answer as well.
Yeah,
Or you, yeah, sure.
We can talk about that together.
This is very often we see this question, what is the distance? We are not using metrical units. We work with the pixels. We work with the resolution. So the resolution of your camera defines how far the user can be. Algorithm needs typically at least 15 pixels between the eyes. So you can imagine your whole face has approximately 60 pixels. So you can imagine that 60 pixels can be piece like this on a HD, but on a 4K resolution, the user can stay really, really in the huge distance. So this is not the maybe good approach to ask how far, but it's always ask what is my resolution of my camera. If it's just VGA, 640 pixels wide, then you have to imagine that my face, if it has 100 pixels, how close I have to be to the camera, so the algorithm will detect my face.
Yeah, and what is important to say here, that we should not talk just about the resolution of the camera, but for the access control system, the main issue or what you need to really think of is the placement of the camera, the lighting of the area where the person is entering. So there are much more factors what you need to somehow count with. And especially in access control system, you need to think about the timing. When you are approaching the speed gate, you want to be sure that it will open when you arrive to the turnstile or to the speed gate. So our system has a lot of option how to set up the detection and how to time how to set up the timing for opening the correct opening the speed gate. So at this use case, there are much more things what you need to think about, not just the camera resolution, and all of them are really important.
But in reality, what we definitely do, we are throttling the algorithm via parameter settings. We define that we want to catch the face not in 10 meters distance, as I was presenting a while. We have to throttle the algorithm to detect face, let's say, in the 3 meters distance, because it doesn't really make a sense to detect faces that are too far for access control.
Yeah, just walking around or something like that.
Great. Another question, Robo, you showed us live how this solution works with the masks on. but let's maybe mention it again. And that's a question from one of our attendees. I noticed the workers in the video had to remove their face masks. Does your solution support matching with the masks on?
Yes.
And what is the accuracy? So we saw that, but you can maybe say it again.
Yeah, definitely. I have enrolled. What helps, and also that's the reason why we present enrollment solution. If I enroll just with my face and then I cover 80% of my face, you cannot expect some high accuracy matching, especially in database of thousands or tens of thousands of users. But if you enroll, if you do the selfie, if you put the mask, and it's a bit different mask, creates different accuracy. So if I use periodic, let's say 5 types of mask, let's say surgical mask, a scarf, then some sort of just cover of my face, and if I do the selfie and enroll with such cover of my face, this improves the accuracy significantly. So therefore we are rolling out not only solution for face recognition, but also for enrollment. So for example, in the morning, ladies nowadays, they combine a very nice face mask with their dress, with their outfit. You just make a quick selfie. This selfie lands in your watch list and you will be recognized.
Great. Another question, what's the number in the watch list, or when the number is big, if it impacts the system, and how long does it take to recognize the image?
Maybe let me give you an overview about the timings in milliseconds, what is happening when I stay in front of the camera. Let's consider we are using CPU, not the GPU. If I'm using CPU, it takes approximately 150 milliseconds to detect my face. Let's consider full HD resolution, which means 1900 pixels wide. Maybe another 100 to 150 milliseconds to extract my face template. And then approximately 30 to 50 milliseconds to do the matching against, we measured last time, 500,000 database. The matching part is, from our point of view, from biometrics point of view, the easiest one. The most critical is always to detect the face and extract the face templates. So if you, for example, use a GPU, you can consider to detect the face within 50 milliseconds. Face template extraction maybe another 50 to 100 milliseconds, even less. And matching, we don't do matching on the GPU, we always use CPU for matching. So if the size is around million, we can provide the match below 100 milliseconds. Of course, we need to consider that for 1 million users database, the input quality should be higher. More pixels, right, of course, define better face quality, and so on.
Okay, what resolution camera is recommended?
It depends on your use case. Yeah. Full HD, definitely okay.
At least full HD.
Full HD, wide dynamic range is also very important feature that helps you to decrease the strong background light. And this really helps, because if you see just dark silhouette, then it's not possible to detect face, of course. But if you have a good wide dynamic range feature, you can clean that image and the face is much better visible.
Yeah, and it depends on what is your possibility to place the camera at the right place. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it depends on. But let's say the most of the cases, the good HD camera is fine.
HD. And also be careful. Do not use cameras with a strong fisheye effect. With a small focal point. Because this fisheye effect, it's the same number of pixels, but it's you see the wider area, and it damages the image. Usually, you are enrolled with a flat image, and if you have a fisheye camera, it's really destroying the image, and it has lower accuracy. So make a camera as flat as possible.
Okay, let's move forward with the questions. There's a question about the temperature reading. Will you be introducing support for thermal or temperature reading?
Well, we have also local brand in Czech and Slovak Republic where we provide time and attendance solutions, and we are integrating also a small thermometer. What I would like to highlight that we do not provide cameras or hardware. We provide technology, and you, as a system integrator, can use any type of camera you choose. And the same for the thermometer. Those thermal cameras, they have their own sensors, they have their own SDKs, and measuring temperature is not really a biometrics. So you can combine according your preferences what type of thermal camera you want to use, because again you have different types. You can measure temperature within 20 centimeters or within 20 meters, and that's big difference. So we support any technology that can be simply integrated with ours.
Okay. Maybe there's also a question for Michael, or as well for you, well, whoever there's. How big is the file that contains the biometric info? What format or standard is it?
Yeah, okay, it's quite a technical question.
It's 500.
Yeah. Let's say that our file, which contains the biometrical data, it's one of the smallest.
It's 500 bytes only
on the market.
Yeah, it's 500 bytes. So it's just information about the landmarks on your face.
All right. Well, I would like to mention
it's
again.
Proprietary format. It's not standard format. It's proprietary.
Yeah. Well, if you maybe have some another question, or you feel you need to discuss your question once again, down here you see contact us CTA button, or feel free to contact us directly at sales@innovatrics.com. Okay. So let's move forward with the questions. There's a question about liveness. It is correct to say that the person has to make some movements to be detected?
There are different approaches how you run liveness check. What we do, what I showcase, we process just one frame, nothing else. We grab one frame from the stream, we send to the server. There's a neural network trained, and that will give us the score. We are not analyzing the sequence of the frames. We're just grabbing one frame. So it's very challenging, but it works with high accuracy. And of course, we keep collecting data sets. We keep collecting, trying to spoof, and we are improving our algorithms on a daily basis because people are very creative. So we need to keep the pace.
Yeah, but it's the same with all of our technologies, where we are always at the edge with the new things.
And does the system require heavy custom hardware, or is the requirements for it light on any network it is used on?
Again, depends on the use case. It's definitely different if you process 4K video or if you process just HD video. Yeah, the frame has a very different resolution. From network point of view, you need to consider that you need to upload, and upload is always critical, the data and send it to the server. Therefore, we recommend on-premise deployments, or there can be various combinations. You can pre-process the stream on-premise, extract the face templates, which has only 500 bytes, and only templates sent for the matching, which is no issue from the infrastructure point of view. So
and you can also use some GPUs to reduce the power needed.
With our technology, really, you don't have to think about your conditions. Just think about your use case, and we can provide the technology. You can fulfill your use case.
Great. Maybe I'll try this question again about liveness, and that's how does the liveness test handles a selfie video?
I have created selfie video here.
And there is another question actually about the passive liveness, and I know that you already showed us, but are you supporting passive liveness detection? So if you're going to demonstrate the liveness again, maybe.
Let's try. Well, this was the. Can I share my screen? What I did was actually a liveness check, and that was a passive liveness check because we grabbed just one frame from the stream, and we analyzed this frame. Let me just turn the server on, and let me maybe show you on a smartphone for better understanding. Here is the different application we showcase. We showcase digital onboarding and selfie login. So here I will try to just log in with my face. We grab one frame, send for the server. You see I have been processed. So let me maybe try to spoof it with such a selfie, which is actually, this is an image. So let's try to spoof it with the image. Let's see. Fine, has failed, and let's play it as a video. A second. Sign in. Liveness check failed. Let's maybe try to sign in with this paper. This is what we call passive liveness, because the user doesn't even know we do it. We have also active liveness. Let me show you. And let me set the liveness on the sign in. So I can simply, my face is detected. Now my eyes are being scanned if I follow the dot right direction. Okay? This is, we track the user's eyes, and we can say if the user is live person or not. What we can do also, right now I'm scanning the screen. I see the details. If the camera doesn't see my face, it's blurry. This is what we call ongoing face recognition. And we can run it on 6-year-old device very easily. If the camera sees my face again, you see it's a sharp. So we work with the frames only, and we can provide various methods of spoofing attacks and how to avoid them. Depends on the use case. If you want to just log into your bank account, I don't think it's necessary to run liveness check. If you want to do the transfer of $1,000, definitely I would ask for at least 2 sort of liveness checks, one-time password, PIN code, and so on. So hopefully this replies your question.
Awesome. Yes, absolutely. I see some very positive answers here on the chat panel. So let's move on with the questions. There's a question from Mr. Daniel Molina. He's been quite active with Donald on the chat panel. So he's asking, what is the scalability of the system, and can it be modularized? Can it be global solution, or it's building specific?
Okay, let's say that that whole system, I mean SmartFace, is built up from different modules. So in this from this part of view, it's scalable. So it can be installed on more servers where, let's say, some services for processing cameras can be distributed, and also the core system can be on different machines. So yes, the answer is it's scalable. And I don't remember the second part of the question, but yeah, it shouldn't be global, or
it can be global.
Can be global.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What you have to always realize, if you will use like Microsoft Azure, Amazon, they will charge you for the data upload. So it can be sometimes not very cost effective.
Yeah, but it's doable, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, the question was whether it can be global solution, or is it building specific?
Yeah, let's say you can have the whole solution on premise in the building, and you can also have some kind of system in the cloud. So yeah,
this is one of our partners has built such offering from Sweden. They have a cloud multi-tenant platform which serves as for the users, for the companies, where they can upload let's say users' identities, and then on-premise is running the server, which is synchronizing with this cloud with the identities, which is not a network difficult process, because as I said, the face template has just 500 bytes, so it's not an issue. Depends on the use case, but definitely you can build any architecture as you wish.
Great. There's a question about the watchlist auto-learn, and what about the face aging? Which are the main restrictions? Sorry, I lost the question now. Which are the main restrictions with it? Sorry.
Maybe let me explain what does it mean. Generally, the face recognition algorithm, when they detect your face, it measures distances between the corner of your eye, tip of your nose, corner of your mouth. And those distances are not really changing over your lifetime once you're an adult person. These landmarks are moving a lot when you are a kid and when you're growing up. Once you're adult, usually they don't change that much. So if you even gain 100 kilos or 50 kilograms, your nose usually will not move, your eyes will not move as well. Definitely, the accuracy is a little bit different, and therefore we have come to the market with the watchlist auto-learn, which is collecting each day you interact with the system, checking if your face template that has been extracted is much different or not. And we built so-called average face template, which really helps to improve accuracy. So again, that's a question. If we consider 1 year or 20 years, of course, you change differently. But we have solutions how to eliminate this situation as well.
There's a question that's been here as well last time, if I remember, and it's a question about the twins. What is the accuracy regarding the identical twins or look-alike personal? So maybe some very brief answer to that.
Yeah, I think the answer is quite easy. Whole neural network is built that way that if I can say the difference, so the machine also can say the difference. So if you cannot say the difference between those twins, the system will not be able to do it.
Face recognition algorithms nowadays have pretty much the same accuracy as forensic experts, and if depends on how similar are the twins. Yeah, this is. But might happen that the very identical twins can spoof the system. Yes, but let's be open. It's like that.
Great. We have quite a lot of questions in here, and as well a quite big audience still, guys. You're feeling okay?
Can we continue? Yes, we feel very good. Let's go.
Okay. So, for example, how your algorithm detect and defend against deepfakes?
Deepfakes. Well, again, how good the deepfake would be? This is the question. And if we consider deepfake, what I understand, that means I can steal Teresa's image, for example, from her Facebook, and I can embed in some sort of video, making her to say something she does not really say. But you have to consider that it's really her face. Just deepfakes can be recognized, especially by the behavior of that person. Right now, we are not focusing on deepfakes, spoof attacks, but again, if somebody will do the deepfake video, he will have to present it from some sort of device, and we have trained our own neural networks how to detect if somebody is placing a smartphone in front of the camera. So I would say we can work with this approach, but depends on that way of the attack.
Absolutely, yes. As well, I believe that you answered this question before, but let's just repeat it. Can the smartphone enrollment app be personalized?
Yes, definitely. We provide white label solution. You can put your design, your style. We provide pretty much the technology for integration and customization.
All right. Okay, there's a sales question. If one purchases the product, do then own it outright, or is it a subscription basis requiring annual renew, ongoing cost similar to
it's a perpetual license. You buy it. If you pay maintenance and support, you are allowed to get also new releases. And this is what we really recommend, because we do at least 4 major releases over the year, where we really improve the accuracy, coming up with the new features like watchlist auto-learn, integrations with various systems. So it's perpetual license for life.
All right. Well, William, if you are interested, I'll write down exactly Robert's email in here, so you can talk to him about it.
You can talk.
Okay. Another question. Which manufacturer access control do you currently integrate it with?
Right now, we are working with Integrity, which is access control by inner range, and we are integrating with Kone system, and I think this is pretty much right now.
I mean, for us, the integration is either done by our partners. They have done few integrations, or we can help out. Those access control systems, usually they have open SDK directly for integration. So this is from the challenges for us. Again, depends on the level of integration, what types of data you want to synchronize, but pretty much with any access control system. We don't do it like we now integrated with hundreds access control system. We work on project base. So if you are interested, just let us know. We can help you out.
Okay, can the application be compatible with the card reader?
Yes. Actually, one of our partners has built such use case that the user comes to the speed gate, places RFID card. From the RFID card is read the person ID. Person ID from the server returns user's enrollment image, and you compare with the real image taken from the camera. So it's like you add another authentication factor.
Okay. There is a question from Dan. Presentation attack detection is more than liveness, and it is not binary. What type of attacks have you tested? Level 1, 2, or 3? And has there been any third-party performance assessment?
We are currently being certified for PAD attacks. I'm not sure if level 1 or level 2. I can come back to you, but I know definitely we are now undergoing this certification. I don't really understand the question. It's more than binary. Yeah, there are different attacks. Definitely, you can have really professional masks that even a forensic expert will have any issues. So we can take this question offline. There are various methods of these attacks and also various certifications.
Yes, then I as well write Robert's email in there, so you can discuss this with him afterwards. All right, 2 more questions are here, and that which is the documentation to start the integration? Do you need NDA or something like that?
Yes, we write always with our partners the NDA at the first, then we can provide evaluation version of our software documentation, so you can make an idea. You can really test at your use case.
You can immediately start the integration.
Exactly.
All right, and last question. We weren't really sure what means PACS, but maybe guys, if you figured it out later. So what physical access control system vendors do you work with, and what is the relationship?
Okay. In this current project, we work with Cominfo, which is a vendor from Czech Republic, but we are also connecting to the elevator system, which is handled by Kone, and I think there are controllers from Kaba or Assa Abloy, I'm not sure. Yeah. So it's quite complicated system, but let's say we can connect almost any kind of physical barrier device. Most of them are or can be connected via simply dry contact, where you can open the speed gate or turnstile or door or whatever. And we already have this kind of connector ready for doing this. So this is one way how to handle the access control for the physical barriers, or we can use Vegan, what I mentioned earlier, which is simulating the card entry, let's say, so we can address directly the controller, or we can use some proprietary system approach, which can be connected via serial cable or serial link. There is
those interfaces we see in turnstile or speed gates, they are standardized. So we can convert our notification into string of data the controller needs to read. So again, this is more or less from case by case. But what we see, the interfaces we connecting, they are very standard.
And that was the last one, guys. Good job. And thank you very much for leading this webinar today.
Thank you.
Or there's
for
one last question, okay? So we don't miss anything. And then when you enroll a new user, how do you set up what doors the person has access to?
As I mentioned, we are integrating usually. We can even provide this logic on our level, but what we see usually is a requirement the user has existing access control system, building access control system, where you set, this is Robert Izak, this is his role, and he's allowed to get to the building A, B, and C. He cannot go to the building, I don't know, D and E. He cannot go to this. You set this up on your master access control system, and we just synchronize this logic against the face recognition module. If you don't have your master access control system, then you can build such logic also custom way
on your side.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you again. Maybe if you have something last to say.
Well, just thank you very much for your attention. I'm happy that so many people made it to the very end. And if you have any questions, contact us directly. Contact our partner program. We are here to help you.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you again. And I would like to mention as well that it's been our third webinar. Many of you actually been joining all of our webinars. So if there is a topic or issue that you'd like to have a webinar about, feel free to tell us right here in the chat box, and we'll be happy to include it maybe in the next one. So looking forward to see you, and thank you again to everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.